Stories carved from concrete and root, tracks rusting, sidewalks splitting, weeds rising, proof that nothing stays buried forever. From alleys and overpasses where hope flickers faint, to dawn-lit forests where breath turns to mist and fears fall silent. Hands roughened by city work and wilderness survival alike, shoulders burdened by memories, freed by the miles walked beyond them. This is a testament to grit, to wandering without apology, to building shelter from ruins. A journey forged for one woman's right to live as she was never allowed to before. A journey for every soul that refuses to bow to the grind. Voidkeeper Adventures, a life unhidden, a path unbeaten. Walk it with us.
Welcome, all my warriors and wanderers. Whether you've been walking with us for a while or you're just hopping on the trail today, always remember, this is where every step is a story and every story lays the path to the future. So last episode, episode 4, I told you there'd be a little surprise in the beginning of this one. So, some of you remember that Amberheart was meant to sit before you then, but the heat and the choking air kept her away. Sometimes the world has its own timing. Today, she's here. She'll sit here, cross-legged and silent, eyes closed, working on her mantras with her mala beads while I speak. She won't say a word because she doesn't need to. Her presence alone is the lesson that sometimes the greatest truths are shown, not spoken. And here's what I'm going to be doing, right? I'm going to be taking Amberheart and my lives, using it as examples because the only stories you really know inside and out are your own. We're going to walk through the 7 steps of enlightenment using snippets and quotes from episodes 1 through 4 tied to each step. So if this part isn't your path today, feel free to skip ahead. Timestamps right here. Here at the beginning of our path, we find the first step, not a step of action, but a step of awakening. The ancient ones call it sati, mindfulness, the vigilant guardian of the present moment. In this life, most walk through shadows of distraction, chasing the past or grasping for the future, never touching the sacred now. But to be mindful is to awaken from this sleep. It is to hold the breath, the heartbeat, the very pulse of existence with unwavering attention. This mindfulness is not mere observation. It is the ancient art of presence, steady at the mountain, calm as the still lake. It is the quiet witness that sees the flicker of pain, the joy, the fear, and meets it without flinching, without clenching, without pushing away. Remember, the body and the mind are one temple. To cultivate mindfulness is to sit with the body upright, breath flowing, hands resting like gentle rivers on the knees. It is in this posture that the mind finds its calm clarity. Amber's presence here reminds us this is not posture for show, but a vessel for truth. When the storm of suffering arises, mindfulness is the refuge that does not escape the storm, but stands within it, like the ancient warriors who, unshaken, hold their ground. In this sacred awareness, we find the power to see beyond illusion, to understand that all pain is a messenger guiding us towards liberation. The first step of the 7 is the root of all awakening. Without mindfulness, the journey is lost to the winds of distraction and desire. With it, even the darkest night in its path towards dawn. So breathe deeply, settle the body quiet and the mind. From the stillness of mindful presence, our path leads to the light of Dharma, the investigation of reality, the deep inquiry into the nature of all things. It is not through It is not enough, to simply be present. We must look with eyes unclouded, to see the world as it truly is, not as we wish to be, nor as fear or hope would paint it. This step is the sharpening of the inner eye, the turning of the lamp towards the hidden corners of our own hearts and the vastness beyond. In the silence cultivated by mindfulness, questions arise. What is suffering? What is importance? What is the self that clings so desperately, yet slips like water through the fingers? This investigation is a warrior's quest, not one of conquest over others, but conquest over ignorance. Like the hermit who sits on the mountain's edge, watching the clouds drift by, we observe the rise and the fall of thoughts, the coming and going of emotions, and the subtle weave of cause and effect. Here, the teachings are not just read, they are lived. Each moment becomes a lesson, each breath is scripture. The truths discovered may not always comfort, but they often reveal the illusions that blind us. Yet, through this courage, seeing liberations begin. We learn that the self is not a fixed fortress, but a river in a constant flow, that pain is transient and joy impermanent. With this wisdom, the chains loosen. Amber's quiet strength, seen in the gentle way she holds herself, embodies this inquiry. Steadfast, patient, yet ever curious. We are invited to meet life with the same fearless openness, to embrace questions without rushing to answers, and to find freedom not in certainty, but in the unfolding mystery. This is the second step of awakening, the clear, unblinking investigation that dissolves illusion and brings us closer to truth. From seeing clearly, the traveler gathers strength. The third quality, energy. This is not the restless vigor of untrained mind, nor the desperate thrashing of fear. True energy arises quietly, like the dawn that needs no trumpet to herald its coming. It is the steadfast fire that warms the hermit's cave and that lights the pilgrim's way. Once we are mindful, once we see truth as it is, then this noble energy is born naturally. It is the resolve to continue walking, even when the path is steep and the bones ache. It is the whisper that says, stand up again, through the world will once see you. It is the whisper that says, stand up again, though the world would see you kneel. Many confuse efforts with struggle, but a wise one knows that right energy is balanced. Too much and the flame burns the house. Too little and the darkness returns. So we kindle it daily, with kind deeds, with honest speech, with compassionate thoughts. If you have watched our past, the silent battles fought behind, gentle eyes, the closing of life, when surrender seems easier. When you have seen the energy in its purest form, it does not boast, it does not rage, it simply endures, again and again, like water carving stone. This is the third milestone on our shared trial, the noble energy that sustains all true awakening. Cultivate it, and the cold winds lose their bite. Now, as we reach the summit, the fourth quality reveals itself, the rapture or joy. It is not the shallow joy of fleeting pleasures, nor the careless laughter of the unmoored. This joy is deeper, the joy that rises when the breath is steady, the mind is clear, and the heart knows peace. It is the bloom of the mountain flower, fragile yet radiant, nourished by the long climb and the thin air. At this peak, one can pause, feeling the vastness around, the endless sky above, the valleys far below. Here, joy arises naturally from the knowing that despite the hardship, despite the struggle, we have arrived, not at an end, but at a moment of truth. This joy is quiet in its celebration of endurance, and the gentle smile that greets each dawn, the gratitude for the path itself, even when it's steep and unforgiving. It is the fruit of mindful energy, the reward of every step taken in sincerity. Look back and see, in the faces of those who walk beside you, the silent warriors and the wanderers, this joy is shared. It is not loud, but it is contagious. Carry the strength to inspire the next step, the next journey. Feel the rapture that is not separate from the path, but born from it. This is the heart's reward, the spirit's song at the highest place we have reached together. Let us rest at this summit beneath the vast sky, where the winds carry all our trials and the trumpets alike. Close your eyes with me for a moment, and then let the world dissolve. The pain, the struggle, the stories we cling to. Feel the silence between your breaths. Let it expand, spacious and gentle, like the mountain air itself. Here, in this quiet, the joy we spoke of does not rush or fade. It simply is. In this stillness, we see clarity, the path behind, the path ahead, and the path within. We honor the climb, we honor the moment, and we prepare for the descent, where tranquility awaits. Now, dear travelers, our feet turn from the high peak towards the gentle slope that carries us homeward. We have tested the rare air, where joy bursts forth like sunlight. Now, as we descend, we allow that brightness to settle deep within to our marrow, transmuted into tranquil ease. Tranquility is the grace of each step placed without hurry. It is the quiet trust that the mountain does not chase us, nor do we chase the valley below. We simply walk, unburdened by the haste, unshaken by the echoes left behind. Feel each breath slow and spacious, like wind slipping through pine groves. Let your shoulders soften, your heart beat steady. In the calm descent, we discover that true tranquility is not found atop distant heights, but carried gently in the soles of our feet. Wherever they touch, this is fleeting earth. Walk on, dear pilgrims. Each stone, each breeze, each sigh of your spirit now belongs to the hush of the mountain's secret heart. As we continue our descent from the mountain's quiet peak, the air grows gentle and the earth beneath our feet reminds us every step down must be taken within the same care as when we climb up. The stillness and the passaddie we nurture at the summit accompany us like an old friend, soften our breath, calming the restless chatter of the mind. The path narrows, in places twisting among stones and roots that once would have startled our focus. Yet now, our eyes remain steady, our mind unhurried. This is where we cultivate concentration, the sixth jewel along this sacred trail. It is here, amidst descent and unexpected bend, that we learn the true art of undivided attention. To concentrate is not to force the mind into rigid silence. Rather, it is to let it teach through thought and go without catching it by the tail. It is to see each sound, each sight, each sensation arise and dissolve like clouds drifting across the endless sky. The mountain shows us the higher our awareness climbs, the deeper our roots must sink into the present moment. Let this walk be your training ground. Each step upon soft soil or sharp stone is an invitation to remain here, just here, not longing for the moment above, nor anxious for the valley below. The trees whisper their secrets, that the mind which holds itself lightly holds everything with clarity. With samadhi, we see that the distractions that once shattered our spirit are now the very reminders to return home, again and again, to the breath, to the heartbeat, to the firm touch of the earth beneath bare feet. In this state, a single thought shines like a lantern in the dusk, illuminating the way, steadying the descent, and dissolving confusion before it takes root. And so, we keep moving slowly, graciously, halfway down the mountain, gathering this quiet strength inside. No gust of wind, nor slip of the fork can steal away this calm center. This, my fellow wanderers, is the blessing of samadhi, to live each step as it were the only one, and to find in peace that no height nor depth can undo. As the path winds gently downward, and the first light of civilization begins to flicker ahead, you approach the threshold where the mountain solitude meets the pulse of everyday life. This final leg is no less sacred, for it carries us beyond the journey itself, back into the world we thought we knew, yet now seeing through new eyes. Here lies the essence of equanimity, the seventh and ultimate balance. It is the art of holding joy and sorrow with equal grace, meeting praise and blame without losing the calm center that we cultivated far above. Equanimity teaches us that life lessons shift, and within this flux our heart remains steady like the ancient mountain stone. This is great liberation, to walk through the marketplace of existence, the noise and the haste, without being tossed by every gust of fortune or misfortune, to see the world's myriad colors without attachment, and to respond from a place untouched by the extremes of desire or aversion. As you step off this trail, carrying the wisdom of mindfulness, investigation, energy, joy, tranquility, concentration, and equanimity, remember this. These seven factors are not destinations, but companions. They do not vanish with the journey's end, but become the foundation of every moment, every breath, every encounter. Return now to your daily life, not as one who has escaped, but as one who walks fully awake. Each step a story, each story a path forward. Let the mountain lessons echo in your actions, your words, and your heart. You are both traveler and home seeker and guide. And so, with this balance, this openness, and this groundness, you carry the path within, forever walking, forever becoming. Alright, so that was deep, wasn't it? Not your typical YouTube ramble, but this is our life. Honest, raw, and exactly as it unfolds. No filter. Now, like I promised, let's switch gears and hit some questions you're probably already asking in your heads. These are the ones that we knew you'd come up with before the comment section even had a chance. So, let's see what we got here. Alright. We wrote this stuff down because, like I said in episode 4, it's easier for Amber to be able to read it and, well, let's just get into it. Alright. Why are you doing this? Well, we've touched on this before. Let's hammer this home. Survival, plain and simple. I mean, right? The system is rigged. We're broke. We have nothing besides the packs on our backs and the road ahead of us. So we figured, one, we have to go nomadic anyways. And two, why not just share the journey with everybody? Get other people inspired, lift other people out of any slums that they have. So That's why we're doing this. All right. Is it safe for Amberheart? Well,
as long as I'm with him, yeah, I think it's gonna be safe. It's my first time, but I think he's done it a couple of times.
yeah, I have. Well, let's flip this on its head for a second. With staying put safe, with mold, neglect, and other things that'll kill you faster than the winter chill will. I mean, no, that wasn't. So, realistically, this was our only option. Let's see. What gear are we bringing? Well, you'll see that in episodes 8 through 10. Actually, correction, 8 through 9. Okay, so those two. Um, in episode 8, you're probably going to see us do like the grocery shopping part and the packing of the food and everything, or preparing of it, sorting it out, banging it into different baggies so that we don't have boxes and overloaded things like that. And episode 9, you'll see us actually packing everything up. So that's how it's going to work. Let's see. How can people support you? Well, you want to take it away?
Well, by sharing this, sharing with other people so they experience the same things that we go through. And if you want, you can make a donation to podcasts.
No, to the Patreon and to the GoFundMe. But yeah, she's right. Number one is share this story out as much as possible, because the more people that hear it, the more our word will get spread, and the more likely we are to get the aid and assistance that we need. Also, it's like we keep saying, it's about the viewers. It's about you guys. So if anybody out there is in a slump and needs to be pulled out, or just wants to do like the nomadic lifestyle, or wants to learn about refurbishing of houses, or botany and herbalism and flora and fauna, that's like your specialty, or art, that's another thing.
Creativity.
Yeah, just being creative in general. What happens if something goes wrong? Well, we adapt. We fall back, we shift plans, we do whatever we need to. If we got to retrace our steps, I know what you guys are probably going to ask. Okay, what if she gets injured or something like that? Well, we have full kits for all of that, and if I have to, I'll drop everything on my back, put everything we need to survival on hers, and then I'll just pick her up and carry her until we can get assistance, like real talk.
And it's not like it's gonna be my first time.
Well, it is. I mean, it's not your first time being homeless, that's true. But it's your first time choosing to do the nomadic lifestyle where you're living out of your back and you have to tent around and build shelters. So it's kind of half and half there. Are we filming everything on our phone?
Well, yeah, we're gonna be filming everything live.
No, not. I mean, yeah, we're gonna be filming it live, but then you're gonna see the video after it's all edited. So yeah, we'll be filming everything on the phone because I don't have a hard case and enough space in my pack to bring my laptop. So that's gonna be stored away, and pretty much it's just off of these two. That's it. Where do we sleep? That's one you can definitely answer.
In a tent.
But we're in the tent.
Wherever Mother Nature provides us.
I couldn't have said it better myself. What do we eat? Well, food is your territory, but I could say a couple of things like rice, oats, dried protein. Um, you already know we've got the gear for like hunting and fishing, so we'll be doing that. And then, Mama, you're the forager. You're the specialist on that stuff.
Whatever is healthy as far as berries or herbs.
Yeah, like wild onions, or like if we could find like what wild greens or lettuce or just
Thistles.
yeah. I mean, you make one heck of a dandelion salad. What is it? You use the thistle part for, or not the thistle part, but like
The flower.
yeah, you use that part for the salad, and then I think you use the stem for like what, a tea or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how do we stay clean? Soap and water, mainly. Sometimes shampoo. Once in a while, conditioner. And if we're really lucky, we get some deodorant and body spray. No, all jokes aside, though, how do we stay clean? You're good. You're good. No worries.
Either
Everybody knows your
lakes,
condition.
rivers, or washrooms wherever available.
I'm sorry, I was talking and they couldn't pick it up. Could you say that again?
I said lakes, rivers, or washrooms wherever available.
Yeah,
And if necessary, I can take sponge baths.
true. Or, well, sponge baths with like the wet wipes and stuff too, right? Because I mean, those are hygienic. So why don't you give that tip about like when you're out there? If you have nothing else, like if you got no water, you got no soap, you got nothing, but you just got like the wet wipes.
Wet wipes or baby wipes or feminine wipes.
Yeah. And at most, if you have absolutely nothing else and you really do need to clean up, you could use those makeup remover wipes too, right? So there's that. Um, how do we charge our gear?
Solar.
The sun.
Solar.
Yeah, we've got 3 different solar chargers. So if one breaks, we got 2 backups, and if the second one breaks, then I'm just gonna go and buy more before the third one is kaput. So we'll always be out there. Here, why don't you say that one? Question 11.
Let me put my second pair of eyeballs on.
Yeah, go ahead. Make sure you got all 6 eyes. Question 11.
Are you armed? That's for you.
Sure you want me to take this one?
That's for you.
Yeah. We've got the bow and arrow. We've got a couple of walking stiffs.
Say that again.
We've got a couple of walking staffs that also double as like defensive tools. We're gonna have obviously, a couple of hunting knives, bowies on us. We got some sling bows, each one of us do, with darts and also pellets too as deterrent. I haven't bought it yet, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy it right now because by the time we get to the really dangerous area, it'll be cold enough that like bears and everything are hibernating, so I don't really think I need to get the bear spray now. But I will be getting it come spring next year though, definitely. And then just a couple of hidden things that, I mean, we can't tell you everything now. Like there's some things we can't say on YouTube. So, okay, here's one you can answer. What if the weather gets ugly? You've got hair poking into your eye. Yeah. And you're the one that does the finances because you're the monarch of the family, so. Or the matriarch. I don't know why I said monarch, but yeah.
If it gets really extreme to the point where I can't tolerate it, hotel.
Yeah, hotel, motel, or if we're close to family, we'll just make them let us stay with them. I kid. So this one is exactly for you. How do you handle the strain?
By meditation, exercise, eating as best as I can, and focusing. My mind focuses on one thing, getting where I want to go.
All right, let me ask a question on top of that then. So, how are you able to focus so well with all of the distractions in the world? Because in this episode, right, I talked about the 7 steps of enlightenment, And one of those is talking about distractions and the temptations of the world. So, how do you stay on that dead line?
Besides my meditations, I look at the positive side of things, and I also look at the consequences of what would be if I went in the wrong direction.
Well said. Well, there you go. You heard it from her mouth. I just asked that question out of the blue. Now, this next one I did kind of prepare her for a little bit, which is, are you scared? And remember, we talked about the language, so.
Heck yeah, I'm scared, but I've been scared all my life, and it's never stopped me from living. Hell, me being in the hospital room when I had cancer and dying 3 times, that didn't stop me.
And see, you heard it from her mouth too, for all of those who might have thought that I was making up a story or trying to get some clickbait. No, you heard it right from her. Everything that I said in all those episodes was 100% true, not filtered. So, as for me though, the trauma that I've had in my life, I've developed something called EDS. For those who don't know what EDS is, it's called it stands for Emotional Detachment Syndrome. It basically means because of the trauma I've had, I can face anything like a bear, a mountain lion, tornado, hurricane, even the world ending, and just go, okay, and be chill about it, and just be like, okay, what do I need to do now? There is really no fear. Like, I've had friends that have joked around about me about I'm the type of person to stand up to a grizzly bear and the grizzly bear back away and go, nope, I don't want to mess with him. And I'm not saying that like I'm this big bad person. It's just, why would you really want to try somebody who literally has no fear? So, yeah. This one I'll let you take. I'll let you take the final one. We only prepared 15 questions because we didn't want to keep it too long. So,
What's the long-term plans?
well, this is about you, this whole thing we're doing. So, what is the long-term plan you want? Speak right to the camera with this one. Here.
My long-term plans is to be able to have a place, either of my own or my family, being at peace with no worries in the world anymore, being able to do my artwork and whatever else comes to mind without the stress.
And what would you absolutely... I said 15 questions, but I have to ask this more and more. And technically it's, 16 with the other one I asked. But anyways, or 17. Anyways, what would you absolutely not want to happen or be offered to you? And yes, I did say offered because there might be some people who come and on the surface it's masked as pure intent, but after digging down, it's ill intent. So what would you absolutely not want to be offered to you or to happen?
That is kind of a hard question to answer rather, because all that I've been through, I've learned to overcome it. So anything that is negativity, I just ignore it and walk away.
Here, how about you ask me? Just so that fair is fair. In your own way. Go ahead.
You answered the question. Just
all right. So if I had to say something that I would never want to happen to me while we build this up. For me personally, it would be people focusing too much on my looks, my image, or my past instead of looking at what I'm trying to do in the future I'm trying to build. Also, and this would be number one, but this goes without saying, anything happening to my daughter that is negative. So, like me permanently losing the ability to contact my daughter or something directly happening to her, that would definitely be something I would absolutely not want to happen. Now, as far as offered things, I'd say for me, things like, a record deal that looks good on the surface, but then in fact it's, slave labor, or somebody coming to me with a grand offer for a piece of land or something, and it turned out that they were just playing jokes, things like that. Those would definitely be some of the ones
Two
I would.
faces.
Yeah, yeah, because like we're so transparent and we're trying to be transparent with this channel and every episode to the point where at some point it might actually affect us negatively with how transparent we are. Like we're going to keep personal information personal, but whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, we're going to show you if we can show you. And here's the thing, I don't monetize any of these videos. No ads, no nothing like this. So if there's an ad that rolls on any of these videos, let me know, because something's wrong, because I never did monetize them. So with that, I guess our Q&A is over. Would you like to say it? Here, I'll start it off. I'm Voidkeeper.
I'm Amberheart.
This is Voidkeeper Adventures, where the lost find their path. Thank you for walking with us.
Peace.